Thought so.
How's it going, folks? Welcome to another fun at-home table read. Tonight, we are doing the biggest mashup of last year. Let's be real, Barbenheimer, Abridged. That's right. We're doing Barbie. We're doing Oppenheimer. We're doing it all in less than 45 minutes. That's wild for Oppenheimer, let alone both. So I'm curious to see what this one's going to be. So let's just jump right in to introducing ourselves.
Hello, I'm George, and I'll be doing action description and playing Will Ferrell.
Hi, I'm Anne, and I will be Margot Barbie.
I'm Logan. I'm going to be Ryan Gosling.
I'm Travis. I'm playing Oscar winner Cillian Murphy.
Nicole. I'll be reading as America Ferrera.
I'm Eric, and I'll be Matt Damon.
I'm Chelsea, and I'll be Kate McKinnon.
I'm Kevin, and I'll be Simu Ken.
All right, George, take us away.
All right, this is Barbenheimer, written by Steph and Alex W. for Barbie and Craig for Oppenheimer. Fade in, interior movie theater. Flocks of moviegoers descend on the theater, fresh off their recent advanced Excel training course, where they paint Barbie and Oppenheimer in one day, while also allowing time for dinner reservations at a place acceptable to both Sandra and Denise. That was the excited younger audience all dressed in pink having loads of fun. Well, the assorted, sorry, goddamn it, hang on. The assorted grown-up barbers in the audience who endured constantly being called Barbie as a kid in a pointedly not fun way have PTSD. Exterior, the opening to 2001, A Space Odyssey with the music and everything. It's an homage or whatever. Little girls play with dolls in the dirt. Since the dawn of time,
I already hate this movie.
cool. As I was saying, since the dawn of time, represented here by kids from the 1930s, the main toys associated with young girls were baby dolls, because it was assumed that motherhood and preparation for motherhood was main purpose of a girl's life.
It is actually.
Fuck you, Ben Shapiro. Can I finish my whatever? Then one day, this wonderful magical company, Mattel, came along with a grown-ass woman doll who could be anything she dreamed of being. Stylish thin astronaut, stylish thin chef, stylish thin claims adjuster, you name it.
This is getting too confusing. I want to smash my dollies instead. Woohoo!
Same here.
Dude, I'm 6, and I was joking, but wow, these dolls sure do break easily. I guess every doll except the one in my hand is made of balsa wood or something.
So far, everything more or less makes sense. But now, for the purposes of our tale, every type of Barbie doll has exactly one full-scale live-action counterpart that lives in the magical world of Barbie Land, which is a real, actual place where our story begins. Exterior Barbie Land, which we'd like to imagine is the same remote desert location as the one in Oppenheimer. Barbenheimer is real. Margot Barbie wakes up as a perfect being in a perfect world. She moves doll-like through her dollhouse with its fake 2D doll fridge and mimes doing real-world things like dolls are made to do. You see, Margot is behaving like a doll, and dolls don't actually eat or shower. It's all pretend. I'm going to continue to point out seemingly obvious things, since Greta doesn't trust the various infantile, underdeveloped brains in the audience to understand what's being plainly shown to them.
Really? I think even younger kids will grasp that.
I mean Shapiro.
Whoa.
Anyway, here in Barbie Land, Barbie has a perfect day every day. The Barbies run every aspect of society. They're pilots, construction workers, Supreme Court justices, and even president.
But we all live in this tiny tin block community. Where do the pilots fly to? How many levels of government does a town of 50-odd people need?
Fuck that. We also run the prison and military industrial complexes. It's a utopia.
And don't forget about Alan and Midge, were the two real-life dolls that were discontinued because we're kind of weird and unpopular. And this movie is going to reclaim all kinds of bizarre, outlandish ideas, like marketing big-budget movies to women.
Margot Robbie drives to the beach where Ryan Gosling is busy beaching.
Despite living in this a very immaculately rendered paradise, which people very clearly put a lot of effort into, I am discontent, mostly because my whole identity is based on being an accessory to Barbie. I'll now say hi to Margot in hopes that she'll validate my entire existence.
Hi, Ryan. Also, hi, everybody, Barbie and Ken.
Hi, Barbie.
Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
This is it.
Ryan runs directly at a fake wave and wipes out, which does, however, gather Margot's notice.
As another Ken competing for Barbie's attention, I guess we should get on with the beach off sequence, which we do stretch way beyond its worth, but was necessary for marketing purposes.
But I took my 8-year-old to this film thinking it would be fun kids movie, despite the trailers featuring sex jokes, sexual assault, physical assault, existential dread, a PG-13 rating, and a Stanley Kubrick reference. You know, just like Trolls and Frozen.
What?
Or Frozen. That night, there is a huge Barbie disco party at Margot's place where everyone dances and grooves and dances more and patiently waits for the inevitable crack in the facade to get the actual story going.
Gosh, this is the best day ever. Let's dance the night away and I am become death, destroyer of worlds. Oh, sorry, wrong movie. But I was thinking, it's some reflection of our meaningless existence. Like, when it comes to euthanasia, do you believe utilitarianism or Cantonism? Is birth a curse and a life prison?
Wow. Way to stop the party, Buzz Killington.
Margot laughs it off, but the next morning she discovers everything in her doll's house has gone horribly wrong.
Oh no, Krogstad found out about my forged loan and is blackmailing me to influence Torvald. And Dr. Rank is dying of tuberculosis. Plus my ankles work now. Shit. I gotta find weird Barbie.
Exterior Barbie land suburbs. I get it. Margot finds Kate McKinnon, who's basically Weird Barbie in real life.
Hey, I have chopped up my hair, marker on my face, and I'm always in the splits. Every girl had a Barbie like me.
Your owner may have been the female Sid from Toy Story. Anywho, please tell me you know what's going on.
This is happening because some kid playing with you got sad, and we're claiming no kid who frequently escapes into fantasy has ever been sad before. So now you must choose the blue pill shaped like a high heel or the red pill shaped like a Birkenstock. Only one will help you realize the meaning of your new existential crisis.
Blue pill, blue fucking pill. I want out of these horrible feelings and back into the obliviousness of my perfect life.
Have fun with the red pill. Okay, bye.
Exterior the real world, aka Venice Beach, California, aka not the real world. Margot and stowaway Ryken travel through a Wes Anderson portal to reach the 405 freeway.
I really thought we'd stand out with our neon clothes and rollerblades, but there's tons of neon shirts for sale on this boardwalk, mostly with drug paraphernalia. Quick, let's go get a henna tattoo that somehow gives us an infection.
I'm glad you acclimated to Venice Beach so quickly, but this is not like Barbie Land at all. Every man is staring at us with their tongues and dicks out. Even weirder, they have tongues and dicks.
Plus here, I'm getting attention too. One woman even complimented my shirt. She said, "I like your shirt. That's nice." As a guy, I will remember this compliment for the rest of my life.
They get arrested after Margot punches a guy for slapping her ass.
Good thing you weren't one of those Barbies with their arms at permanent right angles. You might not have known how to do that.
I need to focus on finding the sad little girl. Can you please just wander off into danger somewhere?
On it!
Ryken walks down the block and straight into the manly male ultra testosterone manument to all things manly, brought to you by Axe Body Spray, new Expendables 4 scent. Confronted with this brazen display of all known varieties of toxic masculinity, Ryken decides to become obsessed with horses, which no girl has ever shown any interest in. Exterior middle school. Margot has visions of a young girl playing with Barbie, but losing joy as she got older. They lead her to Ariana Greenblatt eating lunch at one of the many middle schools in Los Angeles somehow.
Grown woman in a cowgirl outfit whom I don't know. What are you doing? You can't just walk up to Ariana Grande. I don't know why I called her that. She's the Regina George of this school. She'll rip you to shreds.
Listen, bullied girl, who's possibly a representation of Greta Gerwig's childhood, she can't be that bad. Surely she's just a regular 15-year-old girl.
I will destroy you immediately, Barbie. Has made girls feel bad about themselves since forever. You're an example of sexualized capitalism and consumerism, which means you're an awful person and also killing the planet. All in all, you're everything wrong with our society, you goddamn fascist.
Wow, you assumed all of this after 2 seconds of meeting me? It's almost like we're making fun of the criticism against Barbie from people who may be considered SJWs.
I will blatantly ignore this, and/or I still don't know what's going on.
Interior Mattel Corporation. Confused and disillusioned by the real world, Margot is brought to see the CEO of Mattel Corporation, Will Ferrell.
Hi, Will. I see you're playing yourself again, which is fine, honestly. In fact, we'd better funny this movie up because that joke about fascists controlling the railways completely bombed.
Yes, let's hope that me just being myself brings the funny, even without characterization or jokes or shit. Now, we need you to get back into the big box you came in. I have no idea why you're here, but I promise you it will fix whatever you're worried about. Also, yes, Mattel has multiple women on its board, but here we're all male to show the disproportionate influence of men in the real world.
Great. But hey, what's the big deal if I stay in the real world as opposed to imaginary one? You allude to serious consequences, but never say what they are.
I guess because all of this involves some metaphysical mumbo jumbo, and I really don't feel like testifying in front of Congress. Now, back in the box, Barb. Chop, chop. Margot considers, but then runs away. Will and the board members chase her through Mattel in the most Scooby-Doo-ish ways possible, even though this part of the story is supposed to be happening in the real world. Why can't you be like Skipper? She obliged with no problem.
Skipper made it to the real world? Does she have an existential crisis too? I definitely want to know more about that.
Then Ariana and her mom, America Ferrera, drive up just in time.
You'll never get any answers about Skipper. She was the redheaded stepchild of the Barbie sisters toy line and no one cares. Now get in. I'll get it from Will to safety, but I might have to take a detour through a Chevy commercial first.
So you're the one who played with me while sad, not Ariana? Are you upset that your daughter has become a cold-hearted bully ever since she became a teenager?
Yes, that, and the accompanying deterioration of our relationship. I thought inventing constant thoughts of death Barbie would fix that somehow, but so far, no dice.
Mom, I already said I'm not playing Barbie Monopoly with you. Quit asking.
Exterior FKA Barbie Land. Margot takes America and Ariana back to Barbie Land, only to find that Ryken has introduced the Kens to patriarchy, destroying Barbie Land's entire social structure. Ryken chugs a protein shake, goes to the gym instead of therapy, invests in crypto, listens to grifter podcasters who don't know a single thing about Barbies.
Margot, the best thing happened to me while you were out doing your woman crap. I found out that in the real world, it's men that hold all the positions of power and authority, without any exceptions ever. So I decided to bring that back here. Welcome to Kendom. I've turned your dream house into my own frat house, and I made all the Barbies submissive babes. Fortunately, changing all their personalities hasn't threatened to destroy the space Barbie continuum like when your human got sad.
I just can't believe that a living doll with no emotion, no depth could be so selfish.
Can't be too surprised, because we're just men, even full-sized, it's like we're 10. Is it our destiny to live and die with no accountability? We're just men. We don't share feelings with our friends. What will it take for us to grow and change, embrace the strange, and start to see?
Margot, America, and Ariana go to Weird Kate's house to regroup and strategize.
Okay. I thought I was made to uplift girls into becoming women who could do anything with no restrictions or pain. But the real world isn't like that. Does that mean childhood joy and dreams are doomed to die? My entire existence is a lie and a joke. Also, someone on the internet called me mid. The audacity.
Spare Margot. I'll cheer you up with an impassioned rant about the modern contradictory standards of women, which I will then travel back in time and post on Facebook circa 2013.
Yeah. Now let's take a BuzzFeed quiz to find out which Friends character we are.
This somehow snaps Margot out of her funk. They show the 2013 Facebook post to the other Barbies who also come to their senses.
Hey, so you should probably know that the Kens are planning on taking over your Supreme Court. Maybe if you guys had stepped down, maybe you turn when you turn 90, this wouldn't have happened.
Shut up, Michael. Okay, to defeat the Kens, let's write riffs on the performative aspect of masculinity to create some conflict. Given this case, their atomic field egos will start annihilating each, sparking Ken reaction that culminates in a vast, fiery CGI configuration of self-actualization. Where are they now?
Right now, they're all singing Push by Matchbox 20, which seems oddly specific.
The Barbies initiate the destruction. The Kens get jealous and angry at each other and start a battle, which ends up being a dance number that is one of the biggest highlights of the film. But once it's over, they stop being douchebags. Yay!
Oh, the haters out there, you claim this movie is man-hating, and yet a man completely stole the show. Curious.
Hooray, we saved the Supreme Court from being overrun with misogynistic assholes, as I'm sure everyone everywhere else has too. Now we can usher in a new, better Barbie land free of oppressive gender stereotypes and rigid binaries that celebrates true and authentic expression of self. Just remember, all the AKAB are still Kens and all the ABAB are still Barbies, okay? And let's just keep it hetero. We already did like 5 seconds of maybe acknowledging gay Kens, which is already past our limit. Sugar Daddy Ken.
If we're trying to be all progressive, maybe we could explicitly include.
Well, I'm glad that's all settled. We somehow hated the fact that Ryan's frat house playset was flying off the shelves, and are very happy we're back to selling pink, sparkly stuff.
And America and I squashed our mother-daughter beef over, that thing we're beefing over.
Margot, you should end your arc, even though Ryan's arc may or may not have been more compelling. Go talk the lady who's known for her sweetness, Carla from Cheers and the mom from Matilda. No, I'm actually nice in this movie. Now let's have a nice montage about mother-daughter relationships and what it means to be human. Seriously, did anyone actually go into this movie expecting to cry?
Wow, so if I stay in Barbie land, I can live forever, but still as a doll? And if I go into the real world, it would be full of pain and possibly no power, but it might be a fulfilling human existence?
So after this touching emotional sequence, what is your decision? And let's try to remind the audience that this is a comedy.
Real world it is, mostly because I'm so excited to have a real vagina.
Ah, shit. Did we forget to tell her what a pain in the ass those are? N. Interior teeny tiny claustrophobic interrogation room, 1954. I am brought in to be questioned by Jason Clarke and like 8 other dudes. Emily Blunt is allowed to also be in the room, sitting behind my shoulder in a vaguely symbolic way.
Dr. Cillian Murphy, are you now or have you ever been a filthy pinko commie traitor? Please answer either yes or da comment.
Hey, now, let's not cut right to the heart of the matter just yet. Cillian Murphy has to think about his whole life before he testifies.
I pull out a pre-written statement the size of a phone book.
Get comfortable. This is going to take like 3 hours, and it'll be dense, but award.
Exterior, Cambridge University, 1924. I am a university student now, and I can totally pass for 19. In no way do I look like a middle-aged guy cosplaying as Harry Potter.
That's right. We're going to be jumping from the security hearing to various points in Cillian's life as he and other people testify, and the framing device has its own framing device as we keep cutting to Robert Downey Jr. at his own government interrogation. Linear storytelling is for suckers.
I noticed you separated the different timelines into color and black and white. Did you forget to already use that trick in Memento?
You don't understand. The fact that the black and white scenes are pretty much exclusively restricted to Robert's timeline is pure coincidence. No, the black and white scenes are objectively events as they happen, while the color scenes are subjective experiences as they occurred in the protagonist's vividly imaginative head.
You mean sort of like what Wes Anderson just did in Asteroids?
No, my thing is completely different. Now go on and have some surreal subjective imagery for me, please.
I oblige. In color, my college-age self envisions all kinds of distorted fields of dot and squiggly lines moving real fast, and just a whole bunch of wibbly-wobbly in-camera practical effects that look like an experimental filmmaker's thesis project. This shows that I understand atoms or something.
Neat. Also, another gimmick I thought of is that if whoever wrote the entire screenplay, which the audience won't even see, in the first person for some inscrutable reason.
I privately think that that would be utterly pointless, but decide to let him do his thing. Interior James Darcy's class. I am studying under Professor James Darcy. I knock over some science equipment because I am an awkward little weirdo.
Cillian, for being an awkward little weirdo, you are forbidden from attending the lecture by world-famous scientist Kenneth Branagh, doing his third accent in his many Nolan movies.
This is frustrating. I shall retaliate by poisoning your food, a classic prank, yes? The joke is that you would die.
Wait, what? There's no way Oppenheimer really did that. Oppenheimer really did do that. Okay, what the fuck does this say about the protagonist of our movie?
It reinforces the point of this section of the movie, which is that I am an awkward little weirdo. I mean, how awkward and weird is it to attempt homicide on a guy in a fit of adolescent peak, right?
No, hold on. We're not just seriously going to brush past.
Interior Berkeley College. Years later, I am working as a professor at Berkeley, where I meet Florence Pugh at a communist party.
Oh,
we're skipping the Germany scenes? I thought the part where you met Heisenberg could have had an opportunity for a painfully obvious Breaking Bad joke.
Yeah, well, we can't include every single scene that we added to the movie just so physics nerds can squeal, oh my god, it's Giovanni Lombardi's. We'd be here all day anyway. Please don't please to meet you. Sorry about don't worry, darling.
Ah, yes, the movie set in the remote desert where me and a bunch of other intelligent, accomplished women are brainwashed by some dumb loser guys into being submissive domestic slaves. Such as shame we can never have actually smart and fun version of that story from the director who actually has her shit together. But well, come on, Murphy, let's get pervy.
She and I get extremely naked for a whole bunch of scenes, causing a number of actual grown-up people to be shocked that this movie about government scientists ruthlessly plotting a large-scale massacre will contain something as traumatic as female nipples.
Oh, and that was some nice gangly sex we just had there. And what is this on your bookshelf? Oh, allow me to open this random book and to a random page and point at a random snippet of text for you to translate.
Sure, I imagine it's some Prozac text that has no meaning whatsoever, out of context, like he found it in the third drawer next to the melon baller, or something boring like that. But let's check it out. Reading, and now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
I sigh and grind my teeth.
Well, gee, that would be such an apt thing to say if I ever become responsible for creating anything that will kill a lot of people. Better keep that in mind just in case I never invent a weapon of mass destruction. What a dumb thing to put in a smart movie.
Interior classroom. I am hanging out with scientist Josh Hartnett, doing various movie scientist chalkboard squiggles when student Alex Wolf runs in.
Holy shit. German scientists have split the atom. Think of all the potential new avenues of scientific discovery that.
Bombs.
Wait, what?
City leveling bombs. I said it too fast. City leveling bombs.
Splitting atoms means huge fuck-off bombs.
Bombs, bombs, bombs. We can't vaporize thousands of people in a second with an atomic bomb.
Wow. It took your mind 4 seconds to weaponize this incredible discovery. So is the scientific community now going to work overtime to ensure that nobody ever abuses his knowledge in such an irresponsible way?
Shut up. I have to beat all the other scientists to the building first. Atom bomb.
Not if I do it first.
Okay, scientists are messed up. Fuck this. I'm going to retrain as a pastry chef. Forget it.
He leaves. Interior party. Bizarrely, we choose this point of the film to do more scenes about my private life. At another party, I meet Emily Blunt.
Hi there. I'm a Bond villain-esque mad scientist who's plotting to blow up the world. You?
I'm a university graduate who has done the usual 1940s thing and tossed my degree in the trash to go be a housewife. My degree was in advanced protagonist criticism with a minor in nagging. Check it out. Letting them destroy you won't wipe away your sins.
Hot like Adams. Do you want to hook up?
Well, I've got a husband already, but he doesn't have any lines, so fuck him.
And Florence has made it super clear that she doesn't want a serious relationship, so I can easily just break things off with her. Or continuing to see her on the side right until she ambiguously either commits suicide or gets murdered would do the trick as well. I'll play it by ear.
I knock Emily up and we get married.
Nice. Now, you go back to obsessing about the bomb. I'll do whatever female characters in Nolan movies do when they're not directly thinking about or interacting with the protagonist. Have a drinking problem for a couple of scenes and then never reference it again. That'll do, I guess.
Interior classroom. One day, I am approached by General Matt Damon.
I need somebody who understands atoms to build this atom bomb for us. And your borderline irrelevant expertise in quantum mechanics and black holes somehow makes you perfect for the job. What do you say? You're ready to take on this extremely top secret, highest possible security project for the U.S. government?
Sure, but not tonight. Me and my communist wife and my communist brother and his communist wife are going to our communist friend's house to discuss with some of our communist colleagues with various communist causes we contribute to.
Oh.
He slyly glances into my security file. Dozens of literal red flags pour out.
The thing is, though, we really want this bomb.
He flips through the phone book-sized list of my communist connections.
Well, you're not an actual literal member of the Communist Party, right?
Me personally, no. Unlike most of my known associates, I've never got around to it.
That's under these exact specific circumstances. Good enough for us.
Interior Capitol Building, 1959. A black and white Robert Downey Jr. is awaiting a Senate hearing with Alden L. Ehrenreich.
But by 1954, we didn't need Cillian anymore. So we were able to suddenly do an elaborate double take and say, hey, wait a minute, you're a commie.
What exactly is this section of the movie anyway? It features none of the main characters and has nothing to do with the Trinity test. Feels a little vestigial, to be honest.
It's a Senate hearing to decide whether to confirm my nomination for the U.S. Secretary of Commerce, during which I narrate my part in arranging the earlier hearing to revoke a theoretical physics professor's government security clearance. And holy shit, at the age of wall-to-wall formulaic CGI cape shit, how the hell did this movie get passed off as a mainstream blockbuster?
Hey, why are we wasting time with this asshole? Back to scenes with me in them, please. Interior Government Building. I am outlining what I need for the bomb project to Matt and his snivelly assistant, Dane DeHaan.
I'm gonna need all the best science brains you can get your hands on. Like, I'll need Enrico Fermi and Richard Feynman.
Fermi and Feynman. I've actually heard of those guys.
Yes, well done.
I give the audience member a gold star.
Anyway, what I propose is that we go away to the middle of the desert and build a whole town of our own. That way we can all the casinos and booze and hookers we want.
I remember I'm J. Robert Oppenheimer, not Bugsy Siegel.
I mean, we can develop the bomb in total secrecy.
I don't know. A lot of these scientists might not want to spend a couple of years living away from their wives.
Fuck it, bring the wives. They can uproot their lives and live there too, and then hastily built wooden shacks out in the baking heat, isolated away from civilization, and living under military rule and legally prohibited from maintaining contact with their friends and family.
All right, it's the 40s. Women pretty much have to do whatever we tell them. Haha, we're doing patriarchy so well. Anyway, did you have any idea where we should build this town?
I was thinking of this beautiful place in Mexico called Los Alamos. Me and my family spent a lot of time there when I was a kid, and it's the setting of some of my most precious memories. It might just be my favorite place in the whole world.
I smile nostalgically.
So yeah, let's nuke the fuck out of it.
Interior Los Alamos lab. I gather all the scientists together to start designing the bomb.
Welcome, fellow sociopaths. Who's ready to start designing an atom bomb that can level half a city in seconds?
Whoop cheer.
I'm not.
Gasp.
I want to design a hydrogen bomb which can level an entire city in seconds.
Oh, relieved chuckle.
That's the spirit, but also absolutely not, and fuck off. Apparently, I'm chill with kilotons, but megatons is where I draw the line.
One small hitch I've noticed. The math suggests that there's a remote but real possibility that the chain reaction we start with this bomb won't stop and will in fact ignite the entire atmosphere. What if we run this test and then every single living thing on the face of the planet is obliterated in a great purging fire?
Oh, what if? What if the next time I'm brushing my teeth, I get the hiccups and accidentally inhale my toothbrush and die? You gotta take some risks, and I choose to risk the end of human civilization.
Get to inventing. At one point, I finally put on my iconic hat and coat and pipe getup, and it's treated like a superhero suit-up scene, even though it's basically how every 1940s dude dressed. At another time, Matt surprises everybody by bringing Kenneth to the town.
Oh my god, it's Kenneth Branagh, my hero and the rock star of science. Yee!
Oh, you flatter me. I'm just Ken. If you're all wondering how I got off Nazi-occupied Denmark, it involved a daring last-minute boat escape just as they started arresting Jewish families, followed by my being smuggled to the UK in the bomber bay of a Mosquito with so little oxygen I nearly died.
Oh wow, that sounds really exciting. We gonna show any of it?
Nah. That would leave less room for scenes of people writing scientific formulas and being questioned by panels of grumpy white dudes with receding hairlines.
Interior interrogation room, 1954.
I resent that characterization. Now I see it around this time that they sent an insane Inspector Javert type investigator to question you about some commie stuff in a plot thread, which didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, he was played by Cassie Affleck of all people. Yeah,
Casey.
but that whole thing was ultra classified. Where'd you get that?
Interior Capitol Building, 1959.
That's a good point. Where did they get that top secret file? Just a heads up, pretty much nothing happens in this time period until the very end. So we're just going to be filling time with this sort of Greek chorus bullshit.
Who even knows who slipped that folder to random goon David Dasmalchian? Certainly wasn't me. I mean, why would I do that? Just because Cillian trash talked about me to Einstein? I mean, I don't actually know what he said, but I saw those two snickering away, having a big joke at my expense. It was about Doolittle, wasn't it? Well, so help me if those fuckers are going to give me about shit about Doolittle. In short, I have no clue who set up that treacherous little weasel. Now, could we quit wasting time cutting away to me? At this rate, we'll never get to the big kaboom.
Interior interrogation room, 1954.
Yeah, come on, get to the fucking kaboom already.
We're nearly there. Hold your horses. Interior government meeting, 1945. My team is just about done with the science. Matt and I meet with government bigwig James Remar.
Gentlemen, it's time to figure out which cities we should scorch off the face of the planet. I'm not sure why the physicist is having input into this physical and military decision, but that's how it went in real life, so I'll allow it.
I must say, after all our hard work scrambling to get our atom bomb finished before the Germans, it'll be extremely gratifying to blast those Nazis to kingdom come and Hitler's reign of...
He points to a framed newspaper headline, Berlin flattened. Hitler shouts himself into 1,000 memes and blows his brains out.
Oh, right, that already happened.
I frown.
Said. Okay, small concern. And is blasting thousands of civilians with 20 kilotons of atomic death entirely necessary anymore? Hitler called it quits. Mussolini no longer controls the railroads or the flow of commerce. And here, Hiroto is now sitting alone on his island, surrounded by U.S. battleships midway, writing his 13th draft of a letter of surrender and wondering why he ever thought Pearl Harbor was a good idea. Isn't the war effectively over?
There would still be time to be fighting in the meantime, and thousands of professional soldiers would die. To avoid that, we must make tens of thousands of regular men, women, and children, minding their own business, die. ... Look, we want to yell to the world a big, hey, look what we can do. Okay?
Exterior Los Alamos. At long last, me and my team has done all the science, and the refinery has whipped up the big old brick of plutonium we need to finish the bomb, so we do so. It's now time to test this fucker.
But oh no, it's raining and we can't do the test. This rain had better stop before morning, otherwise we'll never be able to do the test, and Hiroshima and Nagasaki will never be annihilated. How tragic would that be?
But fortunately, the rain does in fact abate. Me and my team retreat to what we imagine is a safe distance.
Remember, men, lie flat so the radiation can't get you. Be sure to protect yourself with sunscreen and tinted glasses and whatnot.
I chuckle mirthlessly.
Want to take a guess how many of us wind up dying of cancer over the next couple of decades? Because it's way more than none.
Finally, we set off the bomb. It goes off with a blinding flash and plenty of non-CGI flame, and me and my team watch from afar in eerie silence.
Is my hearing aid on the fritz again?
He turns it up.
Might have placed the battery.
His head disintegrates. I take a deep, satisfied sigh as I wait for my vision and hearing to return.
And all those years of work brought to a successful conclusion. Yes, sir, the abstract engineering process sure was a challenging intellectual exercise, but our solution were elegant and ingenuous. If I say so myself, there's much more that could bring me down for this feeling of accomplishment and...
The United States military irradiates Japan.
Oh, right, the whole thing.
I read newspaper articles about bombing.
Oh.
I see newsreel footage of the devastation.
Oh, God.
I see photos and read death statistics.
What the fuck did we do?
Interior hall. The whole team has gathered to celebrate the bombings. I am required to speak in front of these people.
Well, good work, everybody. 100,000 killed. That's a lot of dead people.
I mop sweat from my brow.
Haha, yeah, I'll teach those regular people to go about their daily lives.
I clutch the podium to stop the room spinning.
Ooh, I'm coming off of as a composed and confident, right? It's not too obvious that my soul is trying to tear itself out of my body and fly off into space and then into the sun.
I valiantly managed to avoid screaming.
I stagger out of the. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I stagger out of the room as various well-wishers pat me on the back and shake my hand, while the walls tremble and the lights burn white-hot, and the cheering is drowned out by shrieks of terror and agony. And I find myself stepping in charred corpses and, hey, do you think we could have some of those black and white objective scenes up in here? You know, the ones where the darkest imaginings of my subconscious aren't rendered horribly manifest? I could really go for some of those right about now. Interior Interrogation Room, 1954.
So yeah, you see how much I suffer truly. That mass murder I helped orchestrate has been especially hard on me personally.
You say you have all these moral reservations about nuclear weapons, but earlier you clearly didn't. How do you explain that, huh? When did these so-called qualms magically appear?
After the bombings, after we killed 10 times as many people as we predicted and saw in gory detail what massive amounts of ionizing radiation does to a human being. Is this a real question?
Admit it, you gladly created that weapon of mass destruction for your country, didn't you? When your nation needed your help to win the war, you were eager to do your part, weren't you? And if you could go back and have the choice of answering America's call all over again, you'd do it all the same, wouldn't you?
Wait, remind me what this hearing is for?
To prove that you're disloyal to America. I may have gotten a little sidetracked, it occurs to me. I need to refresh. Let's put your wife on the stand and yell at her for a while instead.
Emily takes my place.
Miss Blunt, is it true that you're a card-carrying member of...
You done fucked up, son. You should have asked Cillian about my years of practice delivering withering criticism, and I've suddenly turned Cockney. Shut up. You call this a fucking hearing with all the witnesses coming and going at random to suit whatever the movie's narrative happens to be focused on at any given moment, and the questions more geared toward exacerbating the protagonist's guilt complex than being pertinent to the matter at hand. Well, what kind of ramshackle plot-serving shit show are you running here?
Well, now...
Not to mention all the flagrant, over-the-top kangaroo court antics and you screaming and gesticulating like a fucking David Mamet character, even compensating for the whole subjective color scheme gimmick. These segments are really on the nose, don't you think?
Hey, I'm just...
Fuck off with your no-neck generic white guy with your scrunched up little face lost somewhere in your giant jar-shaped head. I refuse to answer any more questions from the worst John Connor, and that's counting the CGI Ed Furlong, who got killed 2 minutes into dark fate.
Jason Clark's lip trembles. He shuffles his notes. He flees the room bawling.
Good work, honey. You showed them. I mean, of course, it won't change a thing about this obviously rigged hearing, and I'll still lose my security clearance and my credibility, and my career will stall forever. But you got to say some mean things to them for a few minutes at least.
Interior Capitol Building, 1959.
Of course, after that, pretty much every prominent member of the scientific community knew just how badly Cillian had been screwed over, and they all resented it and hated me over it. And it seems like we finally narrated long enough to get to my own hearing, where the next person to speak will be...
He checks his schedule.
Rami Malek, a prominent member of the scientific community. I'm sure he'll give me a ringing endorsement.
He and Alden go in to hear Rami speak before the Senate.
Ladies and gentlemen, you ask me what I think of Robert Downey Jr. Well, I think that his achievements speak for themselves. I don't believe that anybody has accomplished as much as Mr. Downey.
Downey beams.
In the field of being a big old ass face who sucks.
Robert Downey Jr. falls out of his chair while letting out a goofy-like yelp.
Yep, he's a jerk and he screwed over Cillian like a jerk, and I wouldn't confirm him as a U.S. Secretary of my dick. The end.
Curses. I, the obscure 1950s chairman of an Atomic Energy Commission, have failed to secure a cushy federal appointment. But a perfectly logical thing to be a climax of a movie about the invention of the atomic bomb. I think it all started with that random conversation between Cillian and Einstein. Wonder what they discussed anyway. Perhaps one last time jump can finally tell us.
Exterior Lake, 1947. I meet with Albert Einstein by a lake while Robert watches from a distance and lets his paranoia run wild.
Hi there, Cillian. Boy, that Doolittle sure did suck, didn't it?
I can't think about that right now. I'm too consumed with terror about that possible consequences of the abomination I've just unleashed upon the world.
Ah, are you concerned that in the growing conflict between the U.S. and the USSR will the threat of nuclear extinction will prevent escalation into an all-out warfare which may have cost millions of lives if carried out by conventional methods?
Well, I mean, no, I suppose that wouldn't be such a terrible thing.
Are you worried that maybe one day an increasingly insane series of North Korean dictators will wind up building their own nuclear arsenal, and who knows what those maniacs might eventually do?
Oh, yep, that's the one now.
I look directly into the camera with a bleak, hollow-eyed thousand-yard stare, which bespeaks the burden of having potentially created the means by which a terrible Armageddon will. Hey, you punk kids! I see you. I see you turning this serious, dramatic image into a reaction meme. Hey, get back here! Director Christopher Nolan steps in front of the screen, handing ribbons out to the audience.
Okay, well done, everyone who got to the end of this thing. Here's your sat through a talky 3-hour drama I'm So Smart award. Now go out and decompress. Maybe go see something a lot more pink and happy to give your brains a break. Just be sure not to go for one of those sneaky satirical ones with rich themes to unpack, or you'll be right back where you started. And a special thank you to Universal for letting me indulge myself with this dry, nerdy little movie. I know it won't make them the same kind of bank as the usual sci-fi and superhero fare, but
Oppenheimer's box office blows up. Kaboom! Christopher Nolan is buried in the crash.
the fuck?
End.
And that is Barbenheimer. Thank you so much for joining us for this weird little abridged. And we will see you next time.